What's up guys, GP here back with another video. I've been wanting to make more content since I've been out here in Mexico City, but for a bunch of different reasons I just haven't. Haven't had the time, I haven't had the energy. I ran the marathon, it was 2 days ago now. It still has had a very heavy effect on me, and even with the marathon, they gave me, I feel like it's just more normal here, but they gave me something called Dolo Neurobiome. I don't know, but some type of, I think it's just a tablet that's supposed to like relax my body. I guess something that's like supposed to relieve pain, some type of pain reliever. I have no idea. I can't read most of what's on there. I'm not even used to normal pills or anything. But while I was out here, instead of using that, or instead of going to the over-the-counter pharmacies that they have here and getting painkillers, I went to the dispensary. If you can see there, it says Coots Cannabis. It's actually like the only real dispensary in the city that I know of. Guys, I've been here a total of like 3 weeks now. 2.5 weeks between like the half marathon and now. But I never found content before I came here about the cannabis scene, and maybe just because I was looking at English or America's version of YouTube, because other countries have different versions. Maybe that's what the problem was, but in general, I was very confused. I was going off some Reddit articles. I had no idea about just where I could find weed, how much pressure there would be on you about it, how dangerous it would be to find it, how difficult, if I didn't say that, it would be to find it, and I got nothing about the quality. All of this kind of surprised me, to be honest, with this whole wide internet and with this being the largest city in North America. I thought there would be more, and one of the founding places of like chronic pretty much in the world, or at least in this hemisphere. It surprised me that there wasn't more information about it. But since there's not more information about it, I am here to hopefully supply you guys with a little bit more information. So right now, this strain is called Gary Poppins. I bought it for a very American price. It's supposed to be California weed, and I bought it for $50 US. So definitely not just cheap. Here, I think that is about 1,000 pesos. I think the price was maybe 999 pesos, something like that. Something that is nice about almost all products here is that the tax is included. So what's on there, and this isn't just cannabis stuff. This is everywhere you go. There's nothing extra. I know a lot of places around the world do that. I've never understood why the U.S. wants you to calculate the percentage tax after you buy stuff. It's asinine. Maybe it's just so the price looks lower always, because we're always focused on selling to people. I have no idea. What I do know is like here the price is included. I brought this fresh, I had a fresh pack of like Rao papers from back in the day. The filters are down there. They kind of fell out. They're somewhere around here. But the Rao papers had, like the grinder tray built in. And so this is what I've been using as a grinder, because I was too scared to fly with our old grinder, or with the grinder in Chicago. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show you guys what the bud looks like. And that is because I have about finished it. You can see I have it just in the bottom. I dropped all that out. Good thing this is a wood table, but it does have seams, so I'm gonna have to make sure to clean that up before we leave this Airbnb. But regardless, as I scoop this back in here, luckily the table was pretty clean. I don't want to be. I had literally a sugar donut yesterday, and I know I dropped some sugar on this. I am not trying to be smoking too much sugar. That donut was amazing. These people do bread so well. These people in Mexico, Mexico City in particular, where I've been, God, every type of bread is the best I've ever tried. It's the best croissants I've ever tried, best baguettes I've ever tried. I had an amazing cinnamon roll. I had some great cookies, like the sweets and the... Gosh, it's been so good, and since I've been running so much, I've been guilt-free eating whatever I want. But with that being said, I am packing this now that I got that flower picked up into the airizer. And I'd like to give the heads up. Airizer did send me this a while ago. If you've seen, I've done a good amount of videos with it. I do have a discount code for it as well, but that is actually not what this video is about at all. This video is about how I felt, my experience, how I felt in my experience of puffing on weed or finding cannabis products. So at Coots, they have pins, they have edibles, they have flour. They also had some shrooms in there, and so you can find what you need in there. I had a friend before, or I've had a friend, I guess, have some shrooms, and they worked for him. Those are also pretty expensive though, and it's really, the stuff is expensive because the legality is gray here. There have been laws enacted to where people can have small amounts, like under 5 grams of cannabis, but with many things, the rule of law here isn't that strong. The rule of law is whoever you're talking to at that moment. So if you're not trying to go out of your way, if you're not trying to plan, if you're not trying to find an Airbnb where it's possible or a hotel where it's possible, I would say, and if you're only going to be here for like 2 or 3 days, I would almost say, or probably say, that smoking weed here isn't worth it for you. I definitely say that as I puff on this airizer, this Gary Poppins. I feel like Gary Payton's just not a normal name here. I feel like that's what they had, was like some Gary Payton or something like that, and they just called it Gary Poppins. They had multiple strains at this price level, and then they had some strains that were less. They'll have like local Mexican strains, or at least from Sinaloa. They'll have some strains from up there that were decent. I tried it last time. It was okay. It wasn't bad. It definitely wasn't at the level of the California. And the California bud will be like double the price too. So you might be able to get 1/8 of the Mexican stuff for like $20, 25 at the dispensary, and then you'll get it for like $5 at and then you get it for like $50 if it's the American strain. And they also have some like temperance zone. Is that what it's called? They're like temperance zones, or zones where you can smoke. So at the Stella de Luz, which is in public, guys, there's this huge stick in the air. I think I described it in the last video and showed you guys in the last video, but I'll include it again in this video. And there's just literally an outdoor market there. Well, they sell it by like, I think it might have been 5 or 10 pesos a gram when I went. I asked for their best stuff, and they gave me 5 or 10 pesos. It was not very good, I will say. It was enough to get the job done. Like, if you just want to get something, and you can smoke there legally no matter what. Like, that is a zone outside of that huge metal stick that you can always smoke, and that it's legal right there, at least during certain hours of the day. But every day it's open. And it's a tent, and you go in it, clearly shadily run, but legal. And you go there, give them your money, they give you the bud, you can roll it up, smoke it right there. Or if you bought bud from Coots and you're staying in the Roma Norte to Polanco area, it wouldn't be that hard of a walk / bike / little $2 Uber ride out here to there. So that is another option if you're looking to buy. But I hope that this video isn't all over if it is all over the place, I apologize. I didn't really put together a huge plan because I'm still trying to figure out what my experience has been. And with that being said, in regards to the price, considering the risk that somebody would have taken to get this bud here, like $50 isn't that bad for a tourist price. For living here, it's still not that bad. $50 is pretty normal in the US. You'd want it to be less. In Chicago, I was definitely getting very good bud for a lower price, but not in the dispensary either. I'm sure if I stayed here, I could find it on the street for a little bit cheaper or whatever. But to have the convenience to go to a nice shop and get it whenever you want to, I think it's completely fairly priced, to be honest. Smoking at the Stella de Luz, just to go back to that, it's cool. You just sit out there, smoke some, but it does suck to have to be confined to one area, but it's very cool that they have an area available. that's clear and cut and dry, like you can smoke here. You will need to know a little bit of Spanish though, or go with somebody that knows some Spanish, or just struggle with hand signs. But they're not going to understand you in English, more than likely. The people in Coots definitely will. The people in Coots speak English. Like, you'll be able to talk to somebody. I think multiple times I've been in there that speak English. Even if I'm going to speak Spanish with them, you're going to need to know some Spanish at Estella de Luz. It's just a different crowd, because it's the crowd for people who want to buy $1 a gram. You're going to be around more local people. You're going to be smoking around local people that just have a biking job, like a biking job with Didi, Uber Eats, these different delivery companies, and they just on a break smoking a J or loading their pipe before they get back on their bike and go deliver some more McDonald's. Coots, you're by the Roma Norte, Condesa, Americans, or more well-to-do Mexican people out here that are willing to pay the premium price for weed to go to a nice location. So they're two different experiences. I've been to both. I would go back to both, but if I'm looking for the most quality bud, which to have after this marathon with how I've been feeling and stuff, I wanted, that's the case. So now, let's get into smoking it. If you haven't been to Mexico City, one thing about Mexico City is there's no space. Even I was in New York earlier this year, and there's space in New York. You could find a little stretch of New York kind of where there's not going to be as many people walking right now. I swear Mexico doesn't have that. Not that I've seen, and definitely not anywhere close to the middle of the city. Like, there's so many people out here, guys, like 20 million plus people, whatever they have in this metroplex. Like, you're going to see somebody always. And I don't like paranoid smoking, so if you're not going to be at the Estella de Luz, if you don't have a balcony that you could be smoking off of, I would almost plan with a clean tube to just bring an airizer. I cleaned my airizer before I came, rubbed alcohol on the inside, had a brand new tube already lined up that I've brought with me, have these windows behind me that you see just like cracked open, and the smell will come in and out much easier than if it was a J or something like that. But when the Airbnb guy comes, there will be no smell in here. The trash will be taken out. I've been emptying, it looks like a dip bottle, but it's actually holding the light right here. I've just been emptying out the leftover burn up bud or whatever in there, and the smell is contained because it's just more comfortable. It's not worth me trying to sneak on I did it last time I was here, try to stand on a corner or whatever and figure that out. There's one coffee shop you can go to that I talked about last time, and it's not in the part of town that I'm staying in right now. It's the part of town I'll be in soon, but not right now because I'm staying here some more time. It's called La Juanita, and you could actually go and sit outside there and smoke a J. I don't know how all this is set up, so please don't ask me. I'm not Mexican. I'm not from here. I just know what you can and can't do. There are police that literally monitor that area, and nobody stopped anything. It wasn't just me. It's other people. It's a coffee shop, and it's the only one. It seems like whoever is making the rules out here is allowing one location to do these things. Coots is the only real above ground dispensary that you can find, and La Juanita is the only smoke shop that I've seen. But not smoke shop, coffee shop, Amsterdam style coffee shop that you can go, right? We talk, chop it up, and just smoke a bowl, smoke a J, whatever, have a beer, or coffee or something like that. And La Juanita is in Condesa, I believe technically. It's either Roma Sorda or Condesa, and you can go over there, and that's another place where you can consume. But like I said, guys, if you want to just not have to go out of your way, not rearrange your day, not aim for a certain location, just be able to sit in your hotel room, sit in your Airbnb, sit in wherever, even if it's not the airizer, or airizer product, just a dry herb vaporizer is going to be the easiest way out here to keep the smell contained, to not, because if you ask a local, where can I smoke, they'll be they really wouldn't have an answer for you. There's places online where they suggest you to go, but you're still going to have to go early morning, later at night. You're going to have to, or just be brave with it, or be in the more outskirts where there aren't going to be a lot of people and stuff. Because from what it seems to me and what I smell in the air, this isn't like a very like cannabis centric place. In terms of, you go to New York, you go to LA, you go to Chicago now, you like smell it in the street. Like people like, we've gotten to really into an American society that doesn't care about weed as much as even some people try to make it seem like. Some small town people, I'm sure, but if you're in the bigger cities, it's sketchy. Here in Mexico, I think it's more opposite. I think it's like less sketchy if you're in the more remote areas, and more sketchy in the city. Simply because of space. And there's a significant older population here that might just not be as accepting of weed. It just doesn't feel like it. In Chicago, I felt completely comfortable smoking in the street. And a lot of other people do. A lot of people feel comfortable driving around, stuff like that. I've smelled it in the street here in Central once, but you don't just, and I think I've smelled it out of people's windows as I pass sometimes, but it's definitely not a place that's just easy to light up like New York. Like, it's like New York in those places in a lot of ways, but in terms of like cannabis stuff, it's not like that. So like I said, guys, if you don't want to take different things into consideration, if you don't want to plan, if you're used to just buying weed, rolling it up, smoking it, not worrying about shit, it's not worth being anxious over, in my opinion. I was anxious smoking outside, like damn, they're throwing away the rest of the joints, like let me go inside, just because I don't know what's normal. I don't know how loud I have this block, and if you smoke certain types of weed, you just get more and more paranoid, and that's not the type of smoking I like to do. I like to relax. I like to enjoy myself, just how I'm talking to you guys right now, and stuff like the Airizer make that so much easier than if I was trying to hide around the corner in a neighborhood and smoke a J as a black dude. It's Mexico City, you know, like I already stick out so much. If I could just chill at my Airbnb and do what I need to do and then go out and enjoy life, I can do that. I don't need to be in the street smoking. I just wanted to figure out the smart way to do it, and I just wanted to create a video kind of relaying what I've learned so far to you guys. And if you live in Mexico, please let me know. It seems like people from Mexico are very scared about weed. It almost makes me feel like I should be more scared. Especially because how much, as Americans, we probably just trust in rights. Like, no, I have the right to do this because the law says so. Here, you just have to be very smart. You have as many rights as the person in front of you is going to give you, pretty much, especially as an American. Overall, it's probably not worth it unless you just ran a race and your body's wrecked. Or if you're going to stay long term and if you have a place that's like kind of yours that you understand around it. But I would just suggest, guys, even though online it has certain laws that were enacted like years ago too, it's not even like that new. Like, technically it's legal here, but everybody from here would tell you it's illegal because it's like a possession thing. It's like how US had it years ago. In some places where like possession decriminalized, somewhat legalized, but the sale and distribution of it isn't. And I think black market sales here are so strong that they have to fight that uphill battle to get the real market started, because the black market's not going to want to allow that here or anywhere. It took a while in the US as well. It's still not all the way there. If somebody from Mexico is just like, he's completely wrong about this, by all means blast me or talk shit in the comments, whatever you need to do. But as an American citizen who likes to consume cannabis, this has been my experience thus far in about 3 weeks in Mexico City. I've enjoyed it. The quality of this bud, if I didn't get to that, has been very good. I feel it heavily right now. It's on par with what most of you guys would get in the US. I wouldn't say in Cali it would be the best stuff that they had in Cali, but it gets the job done. You wouldn't be like, oh, that's not worth it. It's pretty loud too, to be honest. Like when I open the bag, it's a small apartment that I'm staying in right now, but you can smell it. You can smell it throughout the apartment. just like unpuffed on. And out of the airizer, like it's enough to where you feel like you need to open a window a little bit just to let it air out some. So it's decently loud, but if you know dryer vaporizers, then you know that it's just easier for it to air out. And it's a great travel companion. I've actually never traveled with an airizer, but I'm happy I brought it. It's been GP with another episode. Maybe let me know one day if somebody's in CDMX, or if I'm here too. Maybe we can have a session or something. It could be dope. I'll see you guys next time.